welcome back. Today I want to go over Noteful. I want to go over some, I guess mostly just the differences between GoodNotes and Noteful. I know a lot of people, particularly mostly just in the studio, that have messaged me and said they're switching over from GoodNotes to Noteful, and they just kind of want like a basics video, or maybe even like the differences between GoodNotes and Noteful. So this will probably be just kind of quick and simple, but I just kind of want to show you my favorite stuff with Noteful. So first, the thing with Noteful is, now I don't know if you could do this on GoodNotes, I can't remember, but you can put your stuff on the side or you can put it on the top. You can kind of move the toolbar around. So now you see it's on that side. You can put it on the bottom. You can put it on the top. I prefer to have it on the side because if you notice, you can have a lot of highlighters on the side, where when you have the top, you can see that you have to scroll a bit. So I like to keep it on the side. But the biggest difference is this is on the side and it's always on the side. So with GoodNotes, you had to toggle like the editing mode on to get the links, or you could, use your finger, which was like a newer feature. But with this, you can always get to any link at any time. You can also write. So I can right now, like write something, but I can also click on a link. So we're going to click on First Corinthians, and all you do is you hold down. And that's how you get to a link. So you just hold it down and it'll take you there. So it's kind of nice because you can be writing and then you can just easily go to a new link. So that is how linking works, is just holding it down. I do think it's a little bit easier to link stuff. Okay, so let's see. This is page, let's see, like this one, 138. A couple ways to link. So let's say this is chapter 15. So on my table of contents, I want to link this page. Either I can look and see what page number it was, or you can also click the three dots at the top and you can click options and you can click copy page link. So now this page is copied. So now I'm going to go back to First Corinthians, go to my table of contents. It was chapter 15. Oops, I'm going to click the text and I'm going to grab it and I'm going to say link. And either rather than doing the notebook, I can say web page and I can paste that page that I copied. So now it's pasted. And so now when I go to click chapter 15, it goes directly to that page. So that's one way to do it. And then the other way would be to, like get on your text, click it, and you can say link, and then you can just say page. You can say notebook, this notebook, and I can say page, whatever page I want it to be, and then it'll link. So that's one really easy way to do it. The other cool thing is you can also do pictures. So let's say I've got this picture of my daughter and I want to link it to my prayer journal, a certain page of my prayer journal. Click this picture and click link. And now I can go to notebook, and let's say you go notebook location. I'm going to choose my prayer journal and I'm going to choose like her section of my prayer journal, which we'll see is right here. See, it says Selah. So I'm gonna go to that page, and now I can just click her and it's gonna go directly to the page that I linked. So that's kind of cool too. A cool feature with links. Okay, another thing you can do is like this is linked here. And what's nice about this is in GoodNotes, you could also do, I think you could do text with like colored backgrounds, but it's still only linked to the text, where this, like the whole thing is linked. So when I go here, it's going to take me to that page. And so for that, you just would get your text. You could type January and you can click on it and this is going to come up, and that's where you will link it. You can save it, style, resize, all that stuff. But I'm going to click style and this text box comes up, so I can change the text color. So let's say I want this pink color, and then I can change the background. And so let's say for the background, I want like this red color. And then you can even do like opacity. So change how thick it is. You can change the borders if you want a border, or you can do no border. But now you have, you can see I've got this big box here, and then I can click it and I could link it. So I could link it to this notebook, and I could link it to, let's just link it to the next page. Okay, and now when I click on it, it's going to take me to that page. So I kind of like the way the links work a little bit better because it doesn't have that line like GoodNotes does. It just feels like it looks a lot cleaner, and you can do, it'll do the whole box. You can do pictures. I think you can do shapes too. And you can do shapes too. So if we, let's say we got this shape that we wanted, you know, and you could change the color, but then you can click on that style. Oops, you can click on it and do link, and you could link that shape too. So you can pretty much link anything. You can also link stickers. So if we're in the sticker, let's say this is for like this one, I want this for my planner, right? So on this page, for some reason, I want to link to my planner. Again, I can click it, click link, and I can go to my planner, and now it's linked. And so now when I click on this, it's going to take me to my planner. So you can really link anything, which is pretty cool. So that's the linking. You saw the paste. So if you just click like this, it pastes. So it's very easy to paste stuff. You just kind of click it and then it'll paste where you want it. You know, the lasso tool works the same. You've got the circular lasso tool. You also have the square lasso tool. You can also toggle things on and off. I can just click it and then I can click cut, duplicate, delete, resize. You can resize it however you want. You know, link, you can crop it, and then you can arrange it, bring it forward, bring it back. You could even, because this is a sticker, so let's say I have this sticker and I want it kind of like in this corner, but I want it just in the background because I want to have my links on top of it. So first this, I'm going to click it and say arrange, bring to front. But the sticker, I can click this and I can do style. And I can change the opacity. So I can just do it at like 50%. That way you can still see the text on the front, but you still just have like kind of just have like a cute background sticker, but it's not overpowering the page. So you can do that with stickers, with anything, honestly. You could do it with this right here. You can do it with stickers, pictures, anything you want. You can change the opacity. And then of course you have your highlighter tools. So you have, you know, basic highlighter tools of all the other ones, like, you know, just like GoodNotes. I don't find anything different with that. You can hold it down, you can click it, and then this will pop up. You have a grid, you have a wheel where you can change it. You even have custom styles, so you can actually, when you use a different pen size, it'll like go to a certain color. I haven't really set that up, but you do have that option. You can even hide certain colors. So let's say like this color I don't use all the time. Click it, and up here at the top, you see this little button. You can click that, and I can hide any of these. So I can hide that one, and now, and it's not showing, so maybe I'll hide all those. And if I'm just in this prayer journal and I'm doing these are the ones I use for my prayer journal. Actually, the other ones are actually like color coded for my kids and family. So I could hide those, do whatever I want. And then if I need them back, they are right here and I can just add them back. So that's kind of cool, kind of fun. Also, if you're using maybe a certain planner and you want certain colors, or maybe for the month of April, you want to use certain colors, you could add them. And then once the month is over, you could delete them or you could just hide them. So I thought that was a pretty cool feature. The pen tool, got your pen here, you've got your, you know, different colors, but you've got a pen tool, you've got this one, and you've got like a marker. And again, you can change the sizes. And there's also, it's called motion smoothing. So that's what makes it kind of like streamline in GoodNotes. But I do find that I don't know, I feel like personally, that's not the pen tip I like. I do feel like personally the handwriting's a little bit better. I don't know. I feel like it's a little more like my handwriting, you know what I mean? In like real life. It just looks more, I guess, natural. Eraser too, sorry. You can erase big, you know, bigger, whatever you want. But if you have the pencil, you know, I hard clicked on it and I got my pen, my highlighters will pop up. So you can go here. And if you notice, they also popped up down there. And then eraser, you got your lasso tool, you've got insert, you got photos, square shapes, and your stickers. So that works the same way as GoodNotes. Sticker collection looks like this. So honestly, same thing. The nice thing about this one though is you can add stickers quickly. So if you have, let's say you have a folder of PNGs on your iPad, you can click the plus button and you can say import file. And Like I could honestly go like this and just highlight all of these and click open, and it will do all of them as separate stickers in here. So it's a lot easier if you are purchasing stickers, or maybe you're making stickers. It's a lot easier to import them than in GoodNotes, because GoodNotes you can only do one at a time. So that is a cool feature. Same thing where as GoodNotes, where you've got your recents and then you can just make your own. So I have like daily stickers, blank stickers, cleaning stickers. These are my favorite fonts, banners, work stuff, Bible study, and then I think I have prayer journal. So same concept, and you just click on it and then you've got the sticker right there. Talk about, okay, font. So font is, again, the same as GoodNotes. You've got your font. You can click on it. Once you click it, then this bar popped up. So let's do that again. So right now you see I have it clicked, but I haven't done anything. But once I click it, it pops up. And you can change your font here, change your text, you know, bold it. This button right here, this A, is where you would save it as a default. And then you've got your, you know, center, and then you've got your line height. And then of course, if you type something, so let's say we type January, you can change the font, or you can also lasso it and do the resize too. So you can resize it to whatever you want. And then you could always click style. Again, you can change the colors if you want. And again, you can even change the opacity of your text. One of my favorite things I did want to show you, my new favorite thing is, you know, I use one sticker, or I use one font. So my favorite font right now is called Greetings, and you've seen it like 10 times. Oops, it's not how you spell January. I don't know why I keep doing January because it's right there. Okay, so this is my favorite font right here. But I do use, and this is one I use for my planner. I use it very often, but I do use other fonts a lot. Like here, this is one of my favorite fonts. And so what I've done is, because you can only save one as your default, I had made a sticker collection of all my favorite fonts. So it's super easy for me to get favorite fonts. So I put gingerbread here, and I just call it gingerbread. And you see it popped up right there. So now I can just edit it and I can type in whatever I want. And now I have my favorite font. Now this is not exclusive to GoodNote or Noteful. I think you could do this in GoodNotes too. I just never did. But again, I can change this one. And I did to do that is you just take the font, right? And I like to call it the font name. So Shorelines, and I click it and I click save. And then I made a fonts one. So you click on fonts and you click save. And then it's going to bring you here and it's going to show it to you. And then you would click done. I'm going to delete it though. And then the other thing I did is font collections. And so I did like these two. So Shorelines and this handwriting font, which is really cute. And then that way I can edit both of them. You know, so I could say February, and then I could call this one January. And now I have, you know, like the two font combinations, which are kind of cute. So that is one of my new favorite things that I was working on last week, is just putting all these, because then it's just a lot easier rather than having to always get your text, type it out, and then come over here and change it. You could just put all your favorites into a sticker. Okay, so that's fonts. Okay, and the other thing I don't use, but they do have a tape tool, but they don't have as many options as GoodNotes right now. So I would say that's kind of a downside if you are into GoodNotes and you use the tape feature a lot. Then you can, it's just very basic. All it is, and I will show you. I actually took it off of my thing because I really wasn't using it, but tape tool. So the tape tool looks like this, and they just have different sizes, and they just have one pattern, and they just have a bunch of different colors. And you can't even change the colors. So that's what it looks like. Oh, you can customize the colors. I'm sorry. So you can customize the colors. You cannot change the pattern or everything. So that's the only pattern they have. So if you were really into tape, that might be a downside from GoodNotes. Next we have shapes. So these are their shapes that you have. And again, you can just, you know, click on it and you can move it whatever way you want. Where I do remember in GoodNotes when I was doing shapes or doing like screenshots, a lot of it felt like you're constantly going like this, and then I was going like this, and then it was wrong this way. Like I was constantly doing that, where this one you can really move it around very easily. The other thing is screenshot. So let's say I don't want to see this table of contents here. I can lasso it and it'll just pop up right there, take screenshot. I didn't even have to click anything. I just lasso it and it already asks, do I want to take a screenshot? I click on it and then I just click add and now it's added. It's right there. And then again, I can move it very easily. And now it's covered. Okay, so that is how you do a screenshot. Okay, let's talk layers because layers are probably the most exciting. So layers are here in this little, there's like 3 little lines there. Is there 4 lines? So you click that and these are your layers. And you can kind of set it up however you want. I do it different for different notebooks, but what you need to keep in mind is whatever notebook you're using, the way you set it up is the same for every page. So for instance, here's my prayer journal. And you see I have white as a background, stickers, and writing. And if I go to the next page, I have those same things, okay? So like every page I go to, it's going to have those same layers. If I decided to delete, let's say I decided to delete writing, it would delete writing on every single page. And so you really don't want to delete layers, or you want to be very careful about deleting layers. But what I will say about the nice thing about layers is that it really helps you be able to kind of, I guess, organize your stuff and not moving so much stuff around. So this is my Bible notebook. The way I have my Bible notebook is I have background and I have writing. So background is this right here, is usually like whatever, template I'm using is what it is. So this is the template I'm using. And the nice thing is let's say I need to move some writing around. I can go to my writing tool. Now my background layer is locked. Now I can unlock it, but if I lock it and I'm on my writing layer, now I can say like, hey, I really need to move this, and I can just move this and it's not going to move anything behind it because I've locked it. So for my Bible notebook, I keep it simple. It's writing stuff and background. You could even do a stickers one, but sometimes I want to move like all of this. And so I just like to do those 2 layers. For my prayer journal, I have white, which white means like a screenshot. So let's see if I have like in my monthly, I feel like that's where it probably would show up more. If you're not into layers, I probably don't know if I would do Noteful, or you could just do 1 layer, but there is like a process of like making sure you're on the right layer. So for sure, like, okay, I wanted to move this. I had to make sure I was on the right layer. But now I am, and actually this needs to go to my background. So I would click it and I would click this arrow and I would say move to layer, and I'm going to put it in my background. So now it's my background. So that way when I do start writing, I go to my writing layer and then I can add stuff like, okay, I have a doctor's appointment today and my daughter has testing this week or whatever, okay? And then that way, if I need to move something, I can move it. I just make sure that the background layer is locked and that every other layer is locked. And now I can just move this testing, and really I needed it right there. So now I can move it, and my doctor appointment got moved to down here. So now I can move it. And then you can also just like highlight the whole thing, which is nice. So if you, I don't know, need to move it or you just want to redo it, you can just highlight the whole thing and delete it. Okay, so for this, like I said, white is like screenshots. So I didn't do it in this one, but a lot of times I will put like a screenshot over here. So I'll go take screenshot and I'll say add, and then I will just put it over here. And then I would move that to the white layer. So now it's completely behind everything else. And then for my background, this is on my background. But that way, again, if I needed to move this, I can move this and I'm not moving that background layer. So it's really helpful if you are also going to be changing up your page a lot. So like this is my planner. Last week I changed it a lot. So let's see. Like this is what it usually looks like this. So it just has like some to-dos and stuff. But then one day I decided to change the whole background. And again, this was a sticker that the lady who makes this planner, she gave us this. So this is what it usually looks like, but I was able to change the whole color of my planner, and like it has these cute pockets. And so for my planner, I do white background, I do background layout. So for this page, this is the background layout, is that kind of stuff. And then I have text. Now, text is sometimes for me, it's not like my to-dos or anything. It's if I change anything on this. So for instance, this page right here, this keeper of home, that did not say that. It said notes, and I took it off and I wanted to say keeper of home. So that I have as text. And then calendars and trackers, that's usually if I'm going to do something like this, like if I'm tracking my steps or my mood, my hydration, that kind of stuff. And then I have writing, and writing is all the actual like things that I write into my planner. So layers are complicated, but I think once you get used to it, it's really easy. Now I have seen some people that do 2 layers. They do locked layer, and then they do a, I don't know what they call it, unlocked layer? What do they call it? Like they do a locked layer that's basically like all their background stuff, and then they do a layer on top is where they write their stuff. So you can also be as super simple as you want. So layers can be really, really helpful. They can also be kind of confusing, so I totally get that. But I feel like also if you've been using layers before, maybe even with like Procreate or some kind of app, then you'll probably pick it up really quickly. Like it took me, I mean, like 10 minutes to figure out exactly how I wanted to do my layers and to figure it out because I'm used to layers with like the programs I use. But I also feel like you could do it as simple as you want. So if you do just want like 2 layers, you could just call it background layer, and then your top layer be like your writing or your planning, whatever you want to call it. That's really easy too, but it just makes you or allows you to be able to customize your planner. So like here's, like my days just look different. This day I like whited everything out and I just kind of did a to-do list. My weeklies don't actually look like this. So this is a template that I got. So this is really what my weeklies look like. So it allows you to also change stuff up and be able to really customize it. So again, this is another day I had completely different like setup basically. And allows me to, here's the thing, it allows me to try different things with my planner and not buy a new planner, because I had an issue at the beginning of the year or last year of buying planners constantly because I never was happy. And so the nice thing about this is I feel like I'm able to change up my planners a little bit more and not feel like I need to get a new planner. I can just add more stickers and change up the colors even if I want, like do different things to change it up. And it's very easy. So the issue I had with GoodNotes is if I wanted to grab something and I wanted to grab this talent sheets, if I were to grab it, it would grab the whole page because they don't have layers and they don't have anything that you can lock. And so the nice thing with this is I can really like just choose like, oh, hey, I just need to move these things, and I can move them wherever I want. I can delete them, I can duplicate them, but it's not messing with the page. Now, I guess the only downside is if I wanted to copy and paste this page, doing less layers would be more helpful. So that's why I say I do my background layer, because I can click on the background layer and I can copy it, right? So I can lasso it and copy it, and then I'm just copying the background layer. But that's why you want to be careful with what your layers do, what layers you use, because let's say I did like a background layer, but I also did like this on a different layer and this section and this section. Now when I go to copy it, like I have to copy from multiple different layers. So that's why I personally really like to have a background layer that is just the background of it. If I like it, I can then copy it and put it on a new page. And then I'm not grabbing any of the writing or anything. Okay, my one con about Noteful is that it's not as easy to copy and paste a page. So the way to copy and paste a page is there's these dots up here. So these 4 dots, you click on that, that's going to give you your whole planner. So you can easily move about your planner and go to whatever page you want. So let's say I'm going to go to like the cover. I could just click it and then I just push the X and now I'm on this page. Okay. But the one issue they have is if let's say I'm at a template. Okay. So this template back here, if I were to copy it, so you can copy it and then you can paste it and it'll paste right behind there. Or you could even insert it. So if you click insert, you could insert this, it'll insert the exact same thing. But if I were to move it, for some reason, there is this glitch with Noteful where if I were to click on a link, meaning let's say, like if I go to my organizer and I go to my meal planner, and this page is linked, right? If I were to move it, if I were to go to my organizer again and click on meal planner, it'll go to the first spot that this is linked. So if I had moved it to a different spot, I know that sounds like it's really complicated, but that's the only issue or downside I have. So I'm hoping they fix that at some point. The way around it for me personally is I have just adjusted my journals. So like this is my prayer journal. So what I have done for my prayer journal now is all my templates are at the beginning. So when you scroll through, you have the cover page, you have the index, and then it just starts. These are all my templates. That way, no matter what, if I move any of these pages anywhere, this is still going to be the first page that is linked. So I don't know if that makes sense. I'm sorry, I'm probably not explaining it well, but it is a little issue that they have. I really hope they fix it because I do like moving pages around, but I have adjusted all my personal notebooks. So if you do purchase from me or you do use the studio, this journal has been fixed. Even my Bible notebook I've edited so that when you scroll now, this is the first page, all the templates, and there's all the templates are right in here, are right at the beginning. So that's kind of a way to go around it. And what you could do is if you have a journal from someone else, you can absolutely select all your templates like this. So you could select all of them and you could just drag them. So like grab them and then drag them to the front of the notebook. And that way that'll kind of eliminate that copy and paste issue because I'm not sure why it does that, but that's what it does. You do also have insert, this plus button. And so you could click the plus button, add a tag, add a page. If you click page, again, you can click current. So I'm gonna, because this is not a linked page, I don't care. And it just brought me back, it just gave me a current page. It did not copy and paste any of that. So if you remember with GoodNotes, you could copy and duplicate a page, but then it would bring everything here and then you'd clear it. This one I can just say, hey, I want this current template right here. I want it right behind there. And now I have that template again. So that is a nice thing. It makes it really easy. Just do page, current, and now it's there. You can also click the 4 dots, and if you're clicked on it, you can say, like I said, copy and paste, and now you'll see it's right there. Or again, you can click that insert, click current, and now you see it's right there. So there's lots of different options for doing that. Okay, and so then this is what the front looks like the notebook section. The only difference really is there's no like notebooks on here. So you can make folders. Okay, so I can go here and I go to folders and I have studio, but they're gonna still everything still shows up here unless you want to always just go click the folder page and then you could have your folders. And then the folders also come here, so I can just click on studio, but you'll notice these two are still right here. So even though I put them in a folder, if I click on notebooks, it's going to show me all of my notebooks. So that is just a little thing to know about. To import is exactly the same, right? Like you click this, you can import a notebook, import a file. You can click it and hold it down, and that's where you can rename it. You can duplicate it. You can add tags. You can move it, you can share it. Sharing is exactly the same. So like for printing off things, and I already did attempt to print off my notebooks because you guys know probably that I do like to do that, and I already tried that and that works exactly the same. So that's nice. There is this little button here that if you click that, it's just going to take you back to that section, all the tabs you had open. So if you remember, let's say I'm going back to my prayer journal, I can obviously go like this. Remember, I have all these tabs open, but also if you're on this home page, you can just click that and it's going to take you back. And now I've got all my tabs back where I was basically. So that's kind of cool too. Okay, I think that is it for now. Let me know if you have any questions.